Hey y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. As you can see by the title, today we're going to do our Q&A, and I thought I would just put on some makeup while I answer you guys' questions. And these are going to come in like no particular order. I just kind of doodled them down as I saw them. And so yeah, we'll just get started. I did go ahead and put on a little bit of eyeshadow primer before I started to let that be sinking in. And I'm going to use this Rare Beauty Always an Optimist primer base, and it is pretty sparkly, so I'm just going to use it kind of where I would highlight, because like I say, when I rubbed it out on my hand, she was pretty glowy, and I don't want to emphasize my texture. But our first question comes from Tammy. My first ever makeup item bought, and the one makeup product I can't leave the house without. And I really tried to think back on the first makeup item I bought, and I can't remember the exact product, but back when I first started working, had my first job, I used all Covergirl products, so it would have been something from Covergirl, probably mascara. And then the one makeup product I can't leave the house without is definitely mascara. I have long lashes, but they're very light, so you really can't see them unless I put on a little mascara. So that is definitely one thing that I feel like I cannot live without. And I have got this going everywhere I intended not to. We'll just go with it. It's pretty glowy. The foundation I'm going to use is matte, so hopefully it'll all work out good. And question number 2 comes from Lisa. How long have I been married? This is my husband and I's both second marriage. We have been married for just a short while, like 4.5 years, but we've been together for about, excuse me, it was 2012, so about 8 or so, which I think God gave me that first go round so that I would really appreciate the husband that I have now, because he is fabulous. And if I had had him first, I would probably have thought that everybody was just as wonderful as he is. I'm going to use my Stone Cold Fox palette today. What I love about this palette, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about everything, but I can't help it. It's lots of cool tones, lots of kind of neutral tones, and the way they have this organized, like you can just literally pick a column and just go right down that column and everything's going to look great together. But you can also, mix and match and move around in that palette. But I'm going to go in with this column here, the more kind of grayish, kind of gray beige looking colors, and start working on getting a base for these eyes. I'm just going to go in with that top shade in that row called Luxe and just put that all over my lid. It's kind of a all over base color. And I do apologize for not posting anything last week. Where I had that oral surgery, it was on my top right side, and my face stayed pretty swollen for a bit longer than I thought it would. I had like one giant chipmunk cheek, and it was pretty tender, so I didn't even really want to put on my skincare, but I did. But it just, it was just a little too swollen for a while there. But everything feels good now. Just waiting to get these stitches out. Now, I will tell you, day 2, I'm gonna go in with You Rock. Day 2 after that, I really felt like I had been in a bar fight. I guess the way they had my head, I don't know if they had my chin in something, but I ended up with a bruise on my chin and the back of my neck. Like I literally felt like I had been in some type of an altercation. Next question comes from Carrie. What is my favorite step in the makeup routine? Oof, that's kind of hard because I really love it all, but I think, I love eyeshadow and I love blush. putting on a lip at the end just kind of ties everything together. But I think probably I'm going to go with mascara again, just because I think once you put that mascara on, it just really makes your, whatever you've done to your eyes, just really pop and just kind of brings everything together. But like I said, it's really a tough one, because I just love it all, really. I mean, you know, it's fun, and every little step, you know, just kind of, it all just starts coming together and looking gorgeous, and I just love it all. But I'm going to go with mascara, because a lot of times, even if you're not really loving the eye look that you've created, if you just kind of trust the process, and once you put on a couple of coats of mascara, or if you like to do false lashes, put your lashes on, it just really seems like everything just comes together and looks beautiful to me. But like I said, I love it all. It was really hard to pick, you know, just one step to be my favorite, because they're all my favorite. And next question comes from Angela. Do I have siblings? Yes, I actually have 2 brothers and a sister. I'm the oldest. And then my brother, I always just called him my middle brother. He is, my mom was one of those that was pregnant at her 6-week checkup. So he and I are very close in age. And then baby brother is about, I want to say like 4 years younger than me. And then I have a sister. Well, I guess technically she's my half sister, but she is actually closer to my daughter's age. So she's quite young. Beautiful girl. My color that I put in the outside corner is this one right here. Bold type, B-O-U-L-D. Ooh, that I was going to stick to this row, but I think I'm going to go in with Mystery over here on my lid. So yeah, that's my siblings. I've got 2 brothers, a half sister, and several sisters-in-law. And Tammy asked my favorite drugstore product. This was another hard one, because I love a lot of drugstore makeup. But I think one of my favorites is going to have to be one of my more recent discoveries. And that is this Essence Pure Nude highlighter that I'm going to use today. That has got to be like the best highlighter that I think I've ever tried, especially for my mature skin. You know, it doesn't emphasize my texture. It doesn't look too glittery and glowy, and I just really like it. It's one of those products that once you start putting it on, you just want to keep piling it on, even though you know you need to stop. Kind of like a really, you know, when you start using a really pretty blush, you just want to keep going and going and going. And I think she had another question in there with hers. We may deepen up that outer corner just a little more. Because she also asked, when is my birthday? I am a Gemini. My birthday is May the 29th. So, and then Michelle B asked how old I am. I'm 41 now, but of course, you know, in May I'll hit 42. And you know, I didn't feel old at all. You know, 30 was fine, 35 was fine, 40, fantastic. But part of the way through this year, I started having to take a baby aspirin. And for whatever reason, that baby aspirin sent me over the edge. It was like it really made me feel old for some reason. I'm going to go in with that darkest shade in that row there, Cult Classic, and I'm going to add a little bit of that to the outer corner there, just to deepen us up a little bit. And Michelle B also asked if I could only spend $25 on makeup, what would I buy? And let me just tell you, there was a lot of math and calculating and picking products and unpicking products, but I tried to stick with stuff that I could, you know, if I only had $25, because, you know, everything just seems like it has increased exponentially in price. You know, what could I use to put together a whole look and feel put together going out the door? So that's kind of why I chose the things that I chose. But I chose for my first product this Covergirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation. I'm actually going to use this today. It is a full coverage matte finish. It wears well. You know, it's long lasting for me. And because it is a matte finish, it doesn't emphasize my texture at all. That's the foundation I reach for if we're going out. We had a wedding a month or two ago. That was the foundation I chose to wear for that. I feel good when I put that on. You know, when you got I feel like if you have a good base, everything else just kind of comes together around it. And that's been a recent discovery this year. Well, I think it actually came out in February, if I'm not mistaken. But way back when, I used CoverGirl foundations all the time. So I think I may shoot for something just a little bit lighter, kind of on the inner corner. You know, just on that edge, this Dreamful shade. Looks like a pale white with just a little. That almost looks like just a matte with glitter. Just to brighten that up a little bit. I think I'm going to leave my eyes there for now. I'll probably drag a little something under the lower lash line in a minute. But so that was my first product, the CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1. Now they do have an Outlast that doesn't have this color cap, and this color cap is the one that I love. And then my next pick, which I'm also going to use today, is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I love this because I like a silicone wand, and this has the silicone wand that's curved. I love a curved wand. It doesn't flake or smudge. It really gives me length and volume and everything that I love in a mascara. My number 3 pick, I chose a blush, and I chose Essence The Blush for that. And I specifically probably would pick up the shade Bespoke, because I feel like I could use that. It's kind of a nude looking blush. I could even use that on my eyes as a little bit of an eyeshadow. And then the Maybelline Lash Sensational retails for like $5.62. And then the blush from Essence is $3. And then I chose a lip gloss because I'm a glossy girl. And I chose the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. Those retail in my area for like $6.67 at Walmart. Now you can buy those at, you know, you can get them at Ulta, but they're a little bit spendier. It's my Maybelline blur stick. I meant to put this on a while ago when I did that illuminating primer. But those would be the products I would choose, because I would have, You know, I could make myself an eye look, but I would have mascara, a good foundation. Oh, I might should have not have picked a foundation because I've got my tinted sunscreen and that's technically skincare, so I could just use that for my foundation. But we're going to go with that because those would be, you know, I feel like I could get out the door and still look put together just with those 4 products. So I'm going to go in now with my foundation. Like I said, that's the Covergirl Outlast Extreme. I hope it's not too dark because this I picked up before I was actually taking care of my skin, so we'll see how it works. Which my neck is a little bit still darker than the rest of me. And once I've put this on with the brush, I will probably go in still and tap over it with my sponge just to make sure everything is pressed in good and pick up any excess product. And this brush is that BK Beauty 101. I've used it a few times recently and I like it. A lot of times I like my, you know, I'm mostly a sponge girl, but this is a really nice foundation brush. And we'll see if we can still see that Rare Beauty illuminating primer through this. Alright, the next question, Sherry asks, where do I call home? I live and have always lived in Alabama. I've lived in a few different locations in Alabama, but I am Alabama born and raised. And I don't foresee myself ever leaving here. I mean, of course, you know, most all my family is here, and kids and grandkids and all that stuff are all here, so like I said, I've lived in a few different counties, and I'm in the northern part of Alabama. It almost looks a little yellow, but I think it's just my lighting. And I've tried to I've ordered a couple of more lights to add to my setup in here to hopefully help everything look a little bit better. And then Angelica asked, I'm just going to use my Stands Out sponge just to kind of press over everything and make sure, pick up any excess and just make sure everything is really pressed into my skin good. But Angelica asked, what was the last song I listened to? I have no idea. It would have been some kind of, as you can see, it picked up some extra, something classic rock. I generally lean towards either some classic rock or a little bit of like 90s country. You know, stuff that I grew up listening to. Well, not the classic rock. Well, I don't know. Some of the songs that were like popular on the radio when I was younger are now considered classic rock. If you can tell, I'm a little bit salty about that. You know, I almost could have. I think I still see a little bit of glow from that primer coming through. But I may play with that again and see. I bet it would be pretty even on top of the foundation as a highlight. We might try that. But I wanted to use my essence today. We'll see. But yeah, I can't think of a specific song. It would have just been more of a genre. There's actually a classic rock station out of like Ohio. It's like 1069 Rocks or something like that. So I listen to that on iHeartRadio, and that gives me you know, a little bit of variety. I'm going to color correct a little bit with my Neutrogena color corrector just in those hollows that I've got here. But I generally, if I listen to music, it's when I'm outside, like working in the yard or hunting arrowheads or whatever, or just in the car. I've been listening to some podcasts lately, like Over My Dead Body. I've gotten into that recently. I think there were only 3 seasons, and then there's one, Killer Psyche. I like that kind of true crime type stuff. All right, Melissa asked, what kind of coverage do I prefer from foundation? Really, I kind of like everything from light all the way up to like a medium full. Medium coverage is kind of where I hang out mostly, but, you know, depending on the situation, the weather, how I'm feeling that day, you know, I kind of like several different coverage levels. I don't really, you know, if I'm going to put on foundation, I don't want anything sheer. I just feel like that's kind of, just for me, personal preference, just feels like I'm not doing much. But now I do a lot of times just use my tinted sunscreen, you know, put on a little mascara, some bronzer, some blush, a little eyes, and a little mascara, and be done. And then Melissa also asked, what cosmetic brand have I wanted to try but haven't? Gosh, there's a ton of them. Even from drugstore all the way to your high-end or luxury brands, there are things that I still want to try. But I settled on Dior, specifically like their Backstage line. You always hear a lot of good things about it, and I think one of their newer powders, that powder no powder, I've heard lots of people raving about that, so I'd like to try that for sure. Yeah, I think I'll go with, can I go with Dior for like high-end or luxury, and then Moira Cosmetics is a more affordable brand that I would like to try. They have some really pretty looking stuff, which I think eventually, you know, I'll try Moira for sure, and then the Dior may be something that's on my list for later. Just want to make sure that concealer is patted in good. And once that dries down, I may set it with a little setting spray or something. So that was Melissa. And then Line Lover 73 asked, do I have a beauty budget or do I spend freely? I don't have like a specific number, you know, that I can spend, but I try not to go crazy. I'm not working right now. I am a nurse, but I originally went PRN when my daughter went to work to take care of my grandson, and then she's recently had baby number 2. So my husband is our only income right now, so I can't go wild, but he gives me a good bit of leeway. It came off just a wee bit darker than I was expecting. Let's take one of those lighter colors, and I'm just going to use this brush that I put that all over lid color on and give it a little pinch. And just kind of go right under the edge of that, just to soften it up a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll do. And then she also asked, is there a brand I can't stand? Not really. I really can't think of a brand that I just despise. I would say probably, I mean, like Morphe's a brand that I've never really been like super interested in. I guess I always felt like they kind of catered to a younger population. But with that said, I did pick up the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, that volume 1, to try to do a few looks for some of y'all that had requested that. I am going to fill in my brows a little bit today. I've normally would have colored them at this point, but I'm trying out that Grande Brow Serum. So I feel like when I dye my eyebrows, it makes them look a little bit fuller. So I wanted to kind of really be able to see if that is going to help those brows thicken up. And this is a Maybelline Express Brow. I tried this once the other day. It's got one of those kind of teardrop shaped things, and then it's got powder on one end. It was new, so I thought I'd give it a try. Still not sure how I feel about it. I'm going to fill these in right quick. But yeah, I couldn't really think of a brand that I just hate. I feel like with this pencil you can kind of get your brows filled in quick, but if you want those little precise hair-like strokes, this may not be the best option for you, but I'm going to keep using it and see. You know, sometimes it takes a few uses before you decide if you really like something or not. Alright, so that was Line Lover 73. And then Renee asked, which celebrity always has great makeup? I am not a huge follower of celebrities, but somebody that I always think is just gorgeous and, you know, has sex appeal and all of that stuff is probably Jennifer Lopez. She's just always kind of, to me, got that bronzed goddess look. I think that'll do for our brows. That was the NYX brow glue. I had got a little sampler of that, so that's only about the second time I've used it, so I still need to think about that. But yeah, I've never really been a big follower of celebrities, even when I was younger. I don't know why. But yeah, I'll go with Jennifer Lopez. And then, if my handwriting is correct, this is Darina. Or it could be Davina, because sometimes my R's and V's look very similar. My biggest fear, my biggest pet peeve, and favorite TV show. I really, at this stage of my life, I don't have a biggest fear. I used to. And I absolutely think that you can manifest things if you are constantly thinking about it and worrying about it. So my biggest fear had already happened. I'm not going to get into that. It's a little too personal. So yeah, I don't currently have one. I just always try to think positive, focus on the positive, and not worry about things that may not occur. And like I said, I really think there is, you know, I don't want to speak things into fruition. And my biggest pet peeve is definitely gonna be, I don't know, I got a couple, got several of those. I'm probably gonna have to go with loud chewing, or just bad table manners in general. And yes, my husband is a loud chewer. How I missed that, I don't know. But that's just one of those things that drives me nuts. And littering. Like, why are you gonna throw your trash out the window? Just leave it in your car till you get home or till you get to the gas station and then throw it away. But definitely the loud chewing, the bad table manners like smacking, chewing with your mouth open, talking with food in your mouth. That's my biggest one. We'll just call it bad table manners. And then my favorite TV show. I honestly don't watch a ton of TV. Like, it's football season here in the South, so I'm all about some football on Saturdays. But if I do watch anything, it's like investigation discovery type stuff. Again, with the true crime. And that was my Maybelline Lash Sensational, which has been my current favorite mascara. And it's just gotten better since, you know how mascara is. Sometimes after a couple of weeks, either it's really good or it's really bad, or, you know, it can change. But that one has still been really good. But yeah, not a big TV watcher. If it's, I mean, you know, even in the afternoons, you know, like we'll watch the evening news, our local news, and then we'll watch, a lot of times, like when we're laying down at night, we'll watch, we love Bigfoot stuff. We went through like a paranormal phase, like ghosts and that kind of stuff, but we're on the Bigfoot now, so then yes, I believe. But yeah, that's, just not a huge TV person. I can't say I've ever been now, when I was younger, there were quite a few things that I liked to watch on TV, but now, not so much. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Beauty. And it looks like my handwriting is just getting worse. I think Marcus, if I could wear a celebrity style for a day, who would it be? I'm going with Jennifer Lopez again, because she is just, like I say, she's just kind of the epitome of just sexy and gorgeous. And I'm going to use this Benefit Hoola bronzer. I actually picked this up during the 21 Days of Beauty, and I think I've used it a time or two, but yeah, I would go with probably Jennifer Lopez, because like I said, she just oozes that sex appeal. And I don't, there's a lot of celebrities, newer, younger ones, that I don't even know who they are. Lisa asked, who's the first YouTuber I watched? Boy, I really had to think about this one too, because I've really only been watching YouTube for maybe the last year or two. And I think, best I can recall, it was either Risa Does Makeup or Angie Hot and Flashy. Because when I started, looking for stuff on YouTube, I was looking for, mature makeup, mature beauty, people with hooded eyes, and both of those ladies do both of those things. And they're both just gorgeous ladies, and Risa was a makeup artist. She doesn't, she does YouTube full time now, but she has always got a lot of good tips and tricks, especially for hooded eyes and just mature skin in general. I like that bronzer. Kind of got a weird smell, but I like it. But yeah, I think it was probably Risa Does Makeup or Angie Hot and Flashy. I can't remember which one, but they would have both, been neck and neck for the very first. And then, what am I most thankful for? This also from Lisa. Just my life, really. I think I have a great life. I have a great family. Just my life in general I'm very thankful for it every single day that I wake up. I'm just thankful to have the life that I have. It's just, I've been blessed, and we're not rich people by any stretch of the words, but we're not, we've got a roof over our head, we've got food to eat, clothes to wear. Just my life in general, my family, those are the things I'm most thankful for. And then Michael asked, what is my favorite scent? Definitely vanilla. I really like those, not sickly sweet vanilla, but more that gourmand, warm vanilla. I love the perfume I've been wearing for a little while is just from Philosophy, the Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere. I like to smell like a snack. And one of the reasons I keep wearing that too, my husband, because I did have like the bath gel and the lotion and the perfume, the whole to-do. And I had gotten out of the shower. Dang it, I think I just gouged my nail. And when I walked by, he gave me you smell good enough to eat, so I've stuck with it. This is that Electric Mood palette. I'm using this deeper shade here. And my little e.l.f. putty primer applicator. But yeah, I definitely like those more sweet, but not too sweet, kind of warm gourmand smells. But vanilla is definitely one of my favorites. I like those. I think it's Yankee Candle. It's like a vanilla cupcake or something. It just smells like you've been baking when you've got that burning. It's just delicious. William asked, what's my favorite food and my favorite snacks? Whew. That's a tough one because I like food. I'm going to go in with a little Essence Pure Nude. My favorite food. If I go out to eat, I love Mexican and Chinese. But if I'm just at home, spaghetti, just some good old spaghetti with some pasta. So I'm gonna go with spaghetti. And then my favorite snacks, really anything sweet. Cookies, cakes. I have got a sweet tooth. So that was William. And then Michelle B asked, how am I so comfortable on camera and what is my definition of beauty? I really have no idea. I was pretty nervous the first video that I filmed, but I just told myself, if I don't like it, I don't have to post it. I can just delete it. And then when I come in here and sit down to film, it's just me in a room talking to myself, which is kind of what I do all day anyway sometimes. But I just, when I sit down to film, I just try to think like, I'm just sitting here talking to my friends, just hanging out and putting on some makeup and just, chatting. And then too, it's always there that, if I don't like what I've done, I don't have to put it out there. So, and when I was younger, I used to always want to be an actress. Why, I don't know, but obviously that didn't work out for me, but here we are. So yeah, I guess I really just, I keep that in the back of my mind that I can always, if I don't like it, I can delete it. I don't have to put it out there. And then my definition of beauty is really just somebody that's a good person, that has a good personality, a good soul, just a good person. Because you can be beautiful on the outside, and if you are ugly on the inside, that makes you less attractive on the outside to me, and vice versa. If you are maybe not super attractive on the outside, but you have a great personality, you're just a great person, that makes you more attractive just in general, to me anyway. So I think my definition of beauty is definitely just somebody with a good heart, just a good person, you know, a good soul. And Michael S., what do I like about makeup? Everything. It just makes me feel, I guess, maybe like the best version of me I can be. I feel like you can really use makeup to emphasize your favorite features, whether that's your eyes, your lips, your cheeks, whatever it may be. It just makes me feel extra pretty when I put on some makeup. And this is just a really nude color. I'm going to go in with a darker lipstick. And Michael also asked, why did I start a channel? Part of the reason, something crusty there. Part of the reason I started a channel was to document my skincare journey when I started on my tretinoin, and well, I think it was a few months after I'd started that, but I really wanted to have some good kind of, I guess, video evidence to look back on to see my progress. And I'd love to play with makeup, and since I'm not working full-time right now, I felt like this would give me a good excuse to not that you need an excuse to put on makeup, but put on some makeup and buy some makeup, and just, you know, I've noticed like the beauty community on YouTube, really a lot of those channels, you kind of feel like almost family, like you get to know people, you know, chatting in the comments. And I love to see people, you know, talking about different products and different things in the comments. And I thought, you know, there might be somebody out there that likes the style of makeup that I like, and maybe I have a tip or a trick that could help them. I know that's probably distracting this light. This mirror keeps reflecting back there. Yeah, I just thought it would be fun. And then hopefully I can grow my channel. And if I ever get monetized, you know, I can use those monies to put back into my channel for products and testing things and trying things. And, you know, there's a lot of beauty content on YouTube, but I feel like a lot of channels, you know, maybe they start out doing drugstore or affordable makeup, but then they all seem to kind of shift towards that high-end or luxury category of makeup. And I kind of just want to discover great new drugstore or affordable makeup and just share it with everybody. And I thought it would be fun. And I shouldn't say if my channel grows, when my channel grows. This is Flower Beauty in Spiced Petal. These Flower Beauty lipsticks, they're petal pout. The formula they feel high-end. Like they're thick, but not too thick, but they're creamy. They've just got a really nice feel on the lips, I think. And let's have a little gloss, because I like a little gloss. But yeah, that's kind of why I started, just to really play and have fun and connect with people. And then Charlotte asked, do I like multifunctional products like lip and cheeks? I do. I think a multifunctional product I think they're awesome. Now, sometimes, like the ones that are for the lips and cheeks, I feel like sometimes they dry down and they don't feel that great on the lips. But yeah, I like a good multitasker. And if money didn't matter, what would you do with your time? Probably the same thing I'm doing now. I I like to get outside and do stuff. I like to hunt arrowheads and do some fishing, play with makeup, spend time with the kids and the grandkids. But I don't know that I would do a whole lot different. I might go ahead and travel, do a little, I just want to see, you know, some stuff out west before I die. But yeah, I don't know that I would change a whole lot. Of course, everybody says that when they don't have money, but then if they get money, you know, sometimes it changes. But I would like to think I would probably still like to do the same things that I do now. Maybe do some volunteering somewhere, nursing home, children's hospital, something like that. Alexia asks, what's my favorite movie and my favorite color? My favorite color is definitely purple. I love purple. It's always been my favorite as long as I can remember. And my favorite movie, I thought about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but like the original 30-minute narrated cartoon version. I love that. I watch it every year. But aside from that, gosh, I love A Christmas Story. But I love, like Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers. Those movies were really good. But let's keep it light. We're going to go with A Christmas Story because I love it. I will, as soon as they start playing it on TV, I will watch it on repeat until they stop. I just love it. You'll shoot your eye out is just a classic phrase. So yeah, I'm going to go with A Christmas Story. Tamara Lammerjam asks, would I prefer to live in the city or the country? 100% the country. I spent a very short amount of time in a very small city, but in some apartments. That was not, well, the only thing I really liked about that was I could have pizza delivered directly to my door. Most of the places I've lived, you had to drive up to like the local gas station to meet the pizza delivery guy. But I love the country. I love the quiet. I love the nature. I don't care if I have to drive 30 minutes into town to get stuff. Now, there's always a Dollar General close by down here in the South, but I am a country girl through and through for sure. 100%. Bethany asks, 3 things on my bucket list. Definitely traveling out west, seeing the Grand Canyon, Colorado, those places, an Alaskan cruise. And I think probably the only risky thing would be hang gliding. I would like to hang glide at least one time. Preferably probably with somebody strapped to me so that I don't crash to the earth in a crumpled mess. But yeah, I think those are the 3 things highest on the bucket list. And she also asked, what is the ideal weekend for me? Absolutely hanging out at the house. I am a homebody, just hanging out the house, maybe go out to the pond and do some fishing, or out to the woods to do a little arrowhead hunting, or digging for arrowheads. Those are my favorite things, but I'm definitely a homebody. I like to stay close to the house. Melanie asked, if I can only use one eye makeup product, what would it be? Definitely mascara. I feel like once I have some lashes on, I can conquer the world. Or some mascara. You know, I can definitely conquer the world then. And then our last question comes from Tina H's Beautiful Journey. She has a channel here on YouTube. What category of makeup do they have the most of, excluding eyeshadow palettes? Because I feel like, especially in this space, you know, the beauty YouTube space, everybody has a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I do have quite a few. It's definitely blush. I counted. Only because I divvied up my lip products into lipstick, lip gloss, lip liner. Like if I counted all those as one category, it would be lip products. But other than that, blush. I have a bit of a blush addiction. I love it. It just makes the cheeks pop and just adds color back to your face after you've put your foundation on. Definitely got way too many blushes. I keep looking down because my drawer's right here that's got all of them in it, and I did a little bit of tallying up earlier when I was getting ready for this video just to make sure. But yeah, it's definitely blush, and I love it all. And that is our last question, so we are done. I'm still having some issues with comments. Like I can see the comment, and then I have even went within seconds to try to reply, and the comment, I can't find it. It says literally comment not found. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully, well, I say hopefully they're just deleting them, but I would really, they were super nice comments, very sweet. So I would hope they would have left them, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm not responding to your comment or not, reacting to it in any way, because I absolutely have tried and I just can't, and I'm assuming since they said comment not found that maybe the commenter deleted it. So I hope that's the case and it's not something technical that I'm just not able to find it or do it. I know a couple of times I had to approve some comments before I could reply to them, but this last batch wasn't like that. So I'm like I say, I hope they've just been deleted and it's not, I don't want anybody to think that I don't care enough to reply, because I do. There was something else. Oh, I've got lots of new subscribers, and I know some of you guys my old subscribers have recommended me to other people, and I thank you so much for that. And I thank y'all so much for all your sweet comments that you leave. Y'all are just the best. Y'all are absolutely the best. I love to read your comments, and I love to see y'all interacting with each other in the comment section of these videos. It's just wonderful. Y'all are a very sweet bunch of people, and I am so appreciative of every single one of you. Y'all are just fabulous. And my next couple of videos, I'm going to try to, my editing skills are not top notch. I'm just doing still all my filming and editing on my phone, but I did pick up the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It's the volume 1. That color story just looked a little more like me, I guess. A little, something that the volume 2 looked, which this one's pretty warm too, but volume 2 looked really orangey, but that's it. So I'm going to try to put together a video where I do like a few different looks with this palette for y'all to hopefully, help some of y'all out. And one of the things that I was thinking too that I like to do, if I'm looking at a palette that's, like the way that Colourpop Stone Cold Fox is laid out, you can just pick a column, they've kind of got it laid out like that so that it's easier on the eye. But I will swatch some colors like on my arm or my hand and kind of see how they look together, kind of try to coordinate it with whatever top I'm wearing, something like that. So maybe that'll be a little bit helpful to y'all till I can get that video up. And I do want to try to put out at least 2 videos a week going forward. So I've got the Jaclyn Hill palette coming up, and then I'm going to do doing my makeup like I did in high school. I was thinking about doing half the face like I used to do it back then, and then the other half, using the exact same products, apply them like I would now just to see the difference. If y'all have any feedback about that, y'all let me know, and I'll definitely, take that into consideration, because I'm, without you guys, I wouldn't be here making videos. But I certainly appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for all your great questions. Thank you for all your sweet comments and subscribing and watching and all that good stuff. And I hope to see y'all soon in my next one. Bye, y'all.